What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of the Narcissist Code. I'm your favorite self-aware narcissist, Mr. Lee Hammock, better known as Mental Healness across all social media platforms. If this is your first time seeing my face or hearing my voice, I'm a diagnosed narcissist, and I use my platform on social media to raise awareness for NPD, get more people into therapy, and also validate the victims and survivors of said disorder and traits, and the thrivers as well, y'all. Not everybody's a victim. Some people are thrivers and things like that. Today's episode is going to be about emotional bankruptcy and how narcissistic people will leave you when they feel like they have you emotionally bankrupt. And typically, when you get out of a relationship with a narcissist, if they leave you, you're going to leave, and they're going to leave, and you're going to be emotionally bankrupt. And so what I mean by emotional bankruptcy, I mean that like you're drained. You're literally emotionally, mentally drained when you get out of these relationship dynamics. You know, you like, I know y'all see me. If y'all don't know, I'm shooting outside today because I'm moving out of my building into a little office space. I got a little office space. So if I'm shooting outside today, walking around my camera, I put my lights and stuff in the car. I'm like, dang it. But yeah, they're going to try to leave you emotionally bankrupt. I'm getting bit by mosquitoes, so I'm like in a mosquito alley. They're going to try to leave you emotionally bankrupt, like with nothing left. But because like when I say when you start off with like, you know, your emotional bank account in a relationship with a narcissist typically starts off on a high. You start off at 100, they start off at 100 as well. Y'all both meet. Typically they might be higher than you are. They might be giving you more in the beginning than you were giving to them. You know what I mean? Or you're matching them. You know, you're matching them and things like that. So if you're dealing with a narcissistic person in the beginning, yeah, they're going to be matching your emotional energy. They're going to be matching your emotional output. So you're going to be getting back what you put in. In the middle, in the end, that dynamic switches because you're going to be giving more and they're going to be giving less. And it gets to the point where you're giving it all and they're giving you nothing at all. And so when you keep giving, who's replenishing you? Because that's what happens in a lot of these narcissistic relationships. You keep giving, and you're not replenishing yourself. You're not giving anything to yourself because you start to focus more as you feel that person, the narcissistic person, working less and, you know, not working as hard as they used to. You start working harder. Your output increases while their output decreases, and your input is zero because they're not giving you anything. If their output is decreasing, you're not getting any kind of input, but their input is going up. Yours is going down. You see what I'm saying? Like, so you eventually you exhaust your funds. Your emotional bank account has been exhausted because you've been giving and getting little to nothing in return. And that's why I tell people, and typically when your emotional bank account hits zero, that narcissistic person is going to cut their losses and dip. They're going to discard you for someone else with a full emotional bank account. They're going to do that, y'all. Nobody said emotional bankruptcy happens. When you file for emotional bankruptcy, I'm going to tell you, that narcissistic person, like, okay, cool, I'm out. And they're going to take what you've given them, all the emotions, all the love, care, emotions, affection, or whatever. They're going to take that and give it to the next person. They're going to take what you gave them. You filled their bank account up. They're going to take that emotional energy, that emotional, you know, that emotional energy. They're going to take that and they're going to give it to the next person because they're on full now. They have somebody else's energy to match, so they're not giving you anything. They're taking what they got from you and giving it to someone else. This will happen so many times. They're going to give the new supply everything that you ever wanted and needed. All the love, care, and affection that they stopped giving you, they're going to give to the next person times 5, times 10. They're going to 10x like Grant Cardone. They're going to 10x everything. That's why I tell people, when you're dealing with narcissists and toxic people and things like that, you got to understand that's the way the world works, y'all. You're dealing with them, that's how they're going to drain you. You will never get an equal return on your emotional investment in a narcissistic relationship. That's why I tell people, you spend 5, 10, 15, 20 years pouring into something that you're not getting anything out of. Sometimes you have to cut your losses. Again, I'm not telling people to leave, but sometimes you have to cut your losses. If you're ready to leave, then it's time to cut those losses and leave. Stop pouring money into this project that's not giving you anything in return. Because financially, if you're on a financial aspect, if you take real dollars and do it with it, so you taking emotional dollars. But imagine taking your real life savings and pouring it into a project that's just hemorrhaging money. Hey, look, this project is like the project is done. We're losing money on the project. You like increase my investment times 10 exits. Increase my, like, sir, ma'am, there's boss, this is not going to work. Stop putting money into this project. Increase my investment. And that person telling you it's not going to work, or your friends and family. Probably part of yourself is telling you it's not going to work. But you feel like you have to pour more into it. A lot of times narcissistic people make you feel like you're not doing enough for them. So you start doing more and more and more for them. You start trying to give them more. Maybe if I try harder, maybe if I change myself, maybe if I go to the gym, maybe I go back to the school, maybe if I spend more time with this person, maybe if I do this. It's always maybes. It's always maybe. Maybe babies. Stop having maybe babies with toxic narcissistic people. Because they're going to drain you. I'm just telling y'all, this is how it works. They're going to emotionally drain you until you have nothing left. And when you have nothing left to give them, they feel like they have you emotionally bankrupt, and your emotional bank account is at zero. They can't make any more emotional withdrawals from you. So guess what? They're going to take their money out of it and go to a different bank. They go to a different person. You see what I'm saying? When you become emotionally bankrupt, and then when it's hard to rebuild that bank account when you've been in a dynamic like this for so long. When you've been in a relationship with a narcissistic person for so long like this, it's hard to rebuild yourself because you've lost yourself. You've given so much to this person that you've lost your identity, not just your emotional identity, your mental, and sometimes your physical identity as well. You don't look the same. You don't feel the same. You don't act the same because you've been emotionally bankrupted. Bankruptcy? You filed for emotional bankruptcy. So I was going to tell people, when you're dealing with narcissistic people, if you understand narcissism, if you understand what you're dealing with, if you've been awakened to the world of dealing with somebody with narcissistic personality disorder or the traits, and not everybody's a narcissist, y'all. We understand that. Not everybody's a narcissist, Lee. Y'all just a buzzword. Y'all buzzing like some honeybees and blah, 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 blah. Shut up. We know everybody's not a damn narcissist. People are describing the behaviors. Okay, if I say toxic people or toxic people, you know what I mean? So if you're dealing with this, understand that you're just not gonna get out of what you put into it. You're just not. I'm out here getting attacked by mosquito. They're they draining me, they draining my blood. They are draining me. But yeah, so you have to stay in power, y'all, because the more you give to this person, the less you have to give to yourself. That's why a lot of times when people get out of these relationships, if you become the one that make the emotional withdrawal, like you decide to just break up with this person or leave this person, divorce this person, whatever the situation is. If it's your parent, if you decide to cut your parents off or just minimize the relationship, if you decide to do, whenever you decide to do that, that's why you start to give more to yourself. If you stop focusing on this other person and you start focusing more on yourself, you give more to yourself. So guess what? Your emotional bank account starts to rebuild. That's why a lot of people, when you get out of these toxic relationships, that's why a lot of people feel free. That's why a lot of people feel free when you get out of a relationship. That's why a lot of people feel freer and stronger, and your mental state is clear. You're like, damn, I feel like a totally different person right now, because you are a different person. Because now you're making a different emotional investment, a different business investment. Instead of investing in a declining relationship, you invest in yourself, and your relationship with yourself increases. Your value increases because you're invested into yourself. You're investing more emotional, physical, mental energy into yourself. So your value, your self-value, your self-worth is going up. So you feel better about yourself. You feel better about life and circumstance and things like that. This person is not controlling you anymore. So as I tell you, when you're dealing with narcissists and toxic people, understand that they're going to try to emotionally drain you to the point where you have nothing left. They're absolutely going to do that. They just are. They're going to take, and not give you hardly anything in return. And I know people just like, when you got 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 years in a relationship like this, you just feel like, well, I've invested this much money. I've invested this much energy. I might as well just keep investing. What's the pain if I keep investing? More years, more time. What's the pain if I keep investing? I don't want to leave this relationship now. Like I done poured so much money into it. All right. It just sounds like a bad business investment. If people see you doing bad relationship business investments, bad relationship emotional investments, they're gonna think you be bad emotional friendship investments. They're not gonna trust you as a friend, as a family member, as a parent. If your kids see you keep going back, wasting emotional energy on somebody else, they're going to start to resent you probably. A lot of these kids, I'm just telling you, they look at it and they see it, And you're gonna wonder why when your kids grow up, they don't come to you for advice. They're like, I'm not talking to you about any kind of relationship advice. I saw what you dealt with. I saw who you were. Or they mirror you exactly. But anyways, y'all, I have to hop off of here. And a one-on-one starting right now. Thank y'all for tuning in. Live in-person meet and greet, Durham, North Carolina, July 23rd, Honeysuckle at Lakewood. Come through, 3 p.m., July 23rd, 2022. Y'all might be seeing this video next year or in the future. Stay tuned for more, like and subscribe for more. And as always, mental illness is out. Peace.